There's a mod in the world of motorcycling that is pretty rare. You just don't see it that often, and we kind of wonder why that is, because in the car world, it's one of the most common mods that you see. Can you guess what it is? Well, it's actually wheels. Putting a new set of wheels on your motorcycle will dramatically change the look of your machine, but it can also change the durability, the feel, and the performance of the bike as well. Today we're here at Motovation installing this beautiful set of Dimag wheels on our Street Fighter V4S giveaway that you can find over at shop.yamanoob.co. Now let's chat with Nick, our resident tech expert, to see why we'd want to put these wheels on the bike and install them on the bike too. Let's get into it. All right, folks, we're joined here by Nick from Motovation. Nick, thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no worries,
it.
man.
So we are trying to understand, why would you get wheels in the first place?
There are some advantages to going with a lighter weight wheel versus the wheels that come stock. So you have obviously a couple of different options. Most, run-of-the-mill wheels are going to be a cast aluminum wheel, and then you can step into a forged aluminum wheel like this guy right here. And then you also have obviously your carbon wheels. So carbon wheels are generally coming in on the ultra high spec Ducatis, ultra high spec BMWs, that kind of thing. Generally, the reason that you want to update or upgrade that wheel set is due to the weight. So you're going to be reducing your centrifugal force, you're going to be reducing the mass of the wheel, the rotational mass, and that's going to end up affecting your unsprung mass as well.
Yeah, so walk me through what the use case for this would be. Do you think it makes sense for people to maybe have like a second set of wheels for their bike, maybe something different that they're doing with it, or would it just be like a total replacement swap type of thing?
It really depends on what you're doing. If you're just kind of running around, all the time with, it doesn't really make sense to have a second set of wheels. So you can pull off your stock wheels, put those on Craigslist or Marketplace or whatever, and then get your new set of wheels. If you're a racer, that's when you're gonna run into a situation where you're like, I just want to do a quick swap. Keep the slicks on the lighter wheel, and then just run your stock wheels with the DOTs.
Yeah, or maybe have a race tire, a rain tire, something like that. That'd be
kind
good.
Of thing as well, yeah.
Yeah. So this Dimag set that we're going to be putting on the V4S, this is forged aluminum, right?
Yes, so this is a forged aluminum. So forged aluminum being different from cast aluminum. The forged aluminum is going to be a stronger wheel than the cast, but it's also going to come with a lot of weight savings as well. And that's just due to the manufacturing process, as well as the fact that Dimag specifically, if you look at this wheel here, they actually have holes drilled into the wheel to further eliminate weight. So they're really making a huge effort to reduce the weight on this wheel.
Yeah, so we're gonna pop off the wheels on the V4S, weigh them versus these. And then the last question I have, Nick, is how much extra horsepower is this gold gonna get us?
Six horsepower.
Okay, cool.
Measured on our dyno.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 horsepower.
I didn't know you guys had a dyno.
Oh, we don't.
Okay.
But 6 horsepower.
Cool, so 6 extra horsepower and looking fresh. Let's get these wheels on the bike. All right, folks, we've got the wheels off of the bike, and one point we wanted to make is that you will see here that the front wheel from Dimag obviously does not have a brake disc, so we got to pop it off from this one onto this one, right, Nick?
That's correct. So one thing you'll notice on this Street Fighter V4S is you do have the Marchesini forged wheels. So this is going to be a mid-level Ducati, so it does come with the upgraded wheels in the first place. But now I'm really excited to see what the difference between a Marchesini forged wheel is and what the Dimag is, because the Dimag is actually, according to Moto America, the lightest, according to the homologation, the lightest wheel available to use on track.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's significantly lighter than the Marchesini forged, but I know Ducatistas don't need much of an excuse to get new wheels.
That's true.
So yeah, let's check it out. 7.80 pounds for the Dimag, which is
That's heavier.
that is heavier.
Yeah.
So that's not.
I don't know if that's supposed to happen.
I don't think that's supposed to happen. Nick, what? You're the tech expert, so any ideas?
So, the Dimag compared to the Marchesini forge. So Marchesini has their cast wheels, and then they also have their forged wheel, which comes on the S and above versions. So apparently, the Marchesini Forged is a pretty badass wheel. That is very, very light.
No kidding. Because Moto America guys are using these. Like, these are all over the grid. So these are one of the lightest wheels.
Those are one of the lightest wheels that are homologated for use in Moto America. So, and even if you look at like the KTM RC8C, that actually comes as part of their race package. It comes with 2 sets of Dymags. And then you've got folks, Moto America champions that are running Dymag as well.
Yeah, so definitely some pedigree and definitely people using them, but I guess they can't beat the Marchesinis. Nick, we got a carbon wheel right over there. You want to grab that for me? I just want to see what that weighs versus this. So we had 7.8. Weigh that
and this is a carbon.
5.35. So yeah, carbon obviously very lightweight, but a lot of categories don't allow you to run these kind of wheels.
Right.
You actually can't race on these. You can be a track day warrior, bro, with them, but you can't race a carbon wheel.
Yeah, carbon wheels are not allowed in Moto America, World Superbike, MotoGP, none of that stuff. So,
too damn fragile.
Yeah. Actually, Freddie Spencer in MotoGP in the early 80s had a carbon wheel disintegrate on him on track, and that was kind of the genesis of the banning of FIM racing.
Yeah. Well, Nick, I'm kind of shocked, to be honest.
Yeah.
It kind of proves that the stock V4S wheels are really badass. So honestly, as much love as I have for these and they look really cool, I can't in good conscience put a heavier wheel on the bike.
Right. You are losing the 6 horsepower.
Oh man, that's right.
From the Gold. But yeah, the Marchesini Forged wheel is definitely a serious wheel. So the premium that you're paying, people ask, what do you get when you buy a Ducati V4S as opposed to a V4? You're getting basically $3,100 worth of wheels in that package.
Yeah, that's money pretty well spent. Well, Nick, let's put the tire back on and reinstall everything, and then I guess wrap it up and think a little bit more about which wheels would be right for you.
Absolutely. And I mean, to be fair, the Marchesini Forged, we don't have a base wheel to compare. So that's really what we would need, is a base wheel to see if it is in fact heavier than the Dymag. But that might be our tiers. Stock cast wheel, forged aluminum, Marchesini Forged, which apparently is special. They're doing something special in Italy, and then a carbon wheel.
Yeah, for sure. We might pull that up on the base figures for that base wheel and then give you guys the lowdown.
All right, Nick, so wrapping the day up here, what have we learned?
Well, we learned that the V4S gets a pretty freaking badass wheel set. Obviously, you're getting something for that premium that you're paying at the Ducati dealership. Yeah,
so for you guys at home that may not know, Ducati sells a couple different variants of the Street Fighter V4. The base V4, you still get that 1103cc V4 making over 200 horsepower, all that good stuff. But when you step up into the S, crucially, you do get those Marchesini Forged wheels and the electronic suspension like we have on our giveaway bike. And yeah, I mean, that price differential is about $6,000, but it's kind of worth it for the wheels alone, honestly, because those wheels, if you were to try to buy Marchesini Forged wheels, what, $3,400, right?
At least.
At least.
And then, as you're looking at a lighter weight wheel, like there is some advantage to actually getting that lighter weight wheel, because you're going to get improved acceleration, improved handling. The wheel is going to feel a lot lighter, so it's going to go from side to side a lot easier because you don't have as much rotating mass.
So who should get an aftermarket set of wheels besides those who just want something flashy that looks like this, right?
Yeah. I think really what you're looking at is going to be a person who is genuinely doing track day stuff, who has, the need for a couple of different sets of wheels, a couple of sets of tires if they want to do quick changes and that kind of thing. Another person is someone who, basically went to the dealership and bought a base model machine and wants to improve it a little bit and get a little bit more power to the ground. Because as you lighten the wheel, you're actually going to feel that acceleration a little bit more. So it's going to make We joked about this getting 6 more horsepower. That's kind of what you're getting is when you get a lighter wheel, you're going to feel that horsepower transmitted to the ground a lot more efficiently.
Yeah. And then carbon wheels, of course, are kind of like the cream of the crop, right? But, you know, as we mentioned, they're not race legal. They're a little dubious to use on track, but a lot of track day warriors love them.
Right. Yeah, and this is kind of the cream of the crop as far as, you know, your lightest and, you know, strongest set of wheels. But you are going to have a lot of, or potentially going to have wear and tear with this guy. You know, if you're doing multiple tire changes, you know, you're running through different tires, you're going to tear up the bead, you know, potentially a little bit more quickly than something that's metal.
Yeah, that adds up. So guys, with all that being said, wheels are certainly a personal choice. If you want to go out there and get something flashy like these Dymacs, change up the look of the bike, you're more than welcome to. But always think ahead and see, you know, are they really going to be that performance upgrade? We found out today that they were not the upgrade we were looking for, and we ultimately stuck with our stock wheels because they are the best option we have for that bike right now. Now, some people in the comments are going to say, well, why didn't you get carbon wheels, Yam? Well, carbon wheels not bestowed upon me from the gods, so we didn't have them today.
Right.
That's the deal.
And don't forget, the Dymac wheels are a fantastic option because if you look at the, you know, Moto America grid and Pikes Peak and Isle of Man, a lot of racers and race winners as well as champions are running the Dymac wheels. So there's something to it. So whether or not it's the, you know, out and out light aspect, or if it is something to do with a little bit more rugged, puts up with the wear and tear a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's look on different types of wheels options for your ride. Remember, always do your research and see what you're going to be getting for your wheels and make sure you know all the ins and outs of how to install it correctly. If you don't know how to do it, take it to a shop. They're going to know way better than you. And remember, head over to shop.yamanoob.co and get entered to win that Street Fighter V4S because time is running out to win it. Big thanks to Nick here at Motovation. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thanks.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.
Brother, I was just like you once before. I remember I was a squid. I was doing terrible things on the street, but then I found Yami Noob, and I kept watching Yami Noob, and that made me feel better. And when I got better, I stopped doing terrible things on my H2 back here. So I implore you, keep watching Yami Noob. Click subscribe. Watch the next video.